Hey friends, I'm back with another video, and this one is going to be all about rogue poisons. And I'm just going to try to keep it short and brief and dive into some of the basics of rogue poisons. And this is going to be not covering all of them. It's just the modern or current rogue poisons, the ones that were released during the Underfoot expansion back in 2009, December 15th to be exact, in 2009, when Underfoot was initially released. They came out with these poisons. I feel like it was kind of a game changer for rogues. I feel like it put them back in the top tier for DPS, because initially, the kind of poisons rogues had, if I have any of them, yeah, right here. Stuff like this, these old poison bottles, you would have to stop fighting. It couldn't be done during battle. You would apply the poison to your blade or dagger, whatever, jump back into battle, stab your enemy, monster, whatever. The poison would proc, and that would be it. And the rest would just be regular DPS again, unless you wanted to duck back out of battle to add more poison to your blade, in which case, what's the point? Because if you're not steadily fighting, then you've already lost on the amount of DPS you could be doing on another monster, right? So rogues can still make this old classic poison, but I just don't know why you would anymore, unless it's just to get some skill ups in your poison making, which, yes, that can be very useful still to do poison making. I have here my pearlescent or pearless, whatever, pestle, the trophy for poison making. I've maxed it out, and I'm going to show you a couple of things about poison or poison making. First, let's cover the gift poisons that I like to call them. Things like spider bite, okay? You could buy some of these things from a merchant. I believe it's levels 15 through 40, something like that. So let's first start with the weak stuff. So we'll buy 10 of these. And I guess I'll have to buy some more primitive poison vials. All right, so we'll make a few of these. It's pretty easy. You need a primitive poison vial, which you could buy from a merchant. I think you can craft them too, but I'm not sure. You can always look it up on eqtraders.com. You would need the weak, can't say that word, the venom, and thick suspension fluid, and then emulsifier, right? Just regular emulsifier. You combine it and you make some of these, and I'll show you it stacks just like the current or modern potions do. So here we got 6 of them so far, and this is Spider Bite 1, and Spider Bite 1 is for level 15, so you have to be at least level 15 to use this poison. Now, this isn't necessarily for rogues. It can only be crafted by rogues, but Spider Bite can be used by anyone. Anybody, any melee class can use Spider Bite. Similar to that is Scorpion's Agony. All right, let's craft a little bit of Scorpion's Agony. We need the weak Gormar venom. So I'll just type in Gorm, and here we go, the weak. Okay, I got some of that. Start crafting a few of those. And you see here, the Scorpion's Agony is similar. Starts at level 15. You could use it at level 15 to 20. I mean, you could use it up to whatever level you want, but when you're at level 20, you would want Scorpion's Agony 2, which does more damage. Just like when you reach 25, then you start using Scorpion's Agony 3. And just to make sure I'm not being a dumbass, yes, 25 you would use 3. So I think it goes in 5 level increments. 4 would be 30, so I am correct. Now, this poison is different than the spider's bite. Spider's bite is just a simple, direct damage proc. So how does it work? You right-click it. You can even, put it in your hotkeys, and it works like a potion. It gives your character a buff, and what does that buff do? It gives you a possibility of proccing or doing a direct damage of poison during regular combat. So if you're a warrior, a paladin, a monk, a cleric, a ranger, just anybody using any melee weapon, berserkers, beastmaster, even a mage or enchanter or whatever could use it. Of course, they're not going to be nearly as effective with their melee weapon as a melee class, but even a Shadow Knight can use it. So you can apply the poison and then you can use it, and it lasts for like a good hour or until you use up all the charges. And I think it's got about 50 to 60 charges, so every time it procs it goes down 1 charge. But it really does help with the damage. It does a lot. So that's the Spider's Bite. And then Scorpion's Agony, it's better for a main tank, because Scorpion's Agony does direct damage, but it also will anger the target. It causes aggro. You want Scorpion's Agony if you're a main tank to increase aggro. So use that. Now we're going to be talking about the rogue-only poisons, because like I said, these two are the 2 kinds of gift poisons that you can make, that you can give as a gift to your friends or sell it in the bazaar, and warriors and everything in between will buy it and be able to use it. And then you want the rogue only poisons. Well, the good news is one of them can be just purchased, and that's kind of like one of the best ones, Bite of the Shissar. You can buy that. I always keep multiple stacks on my rogue. Since I'm level 81, I use Bite of the Shissar number, I don't know what fucking number is that. I think it's 14. This is a direct damage type of thing. Once you've drank one, it just works like this. Right click and see it's like a casting spell, and here's the buff that you get from it. Bite of the Shissar, poison VII, which would be 7. It lasts for 3 hours and 18 minutes. Wow, that's craziness, isn't it? And it's got 60 charges. So if my rogue goes and starts stabbing someone in the ass, I could do 60 charges of this direct damage, and it procs pretty often. So that's an added direct damage for rogues, and it won't stack with, don't think you can use Bite of the Shissar and Spider's Bite too. No. Bite of the Shissar is going to overwrite Spider's Bite. At least it should, because it's way more potent. It's going to do more damage than the gift poisons. So don't make the gift poisons for yourself. If you're a rogue, make it to, have a stack to maybe give to your party members if you're grouping with someone. I usually use my rogue to make a bunch of these and give it to all my other class characters, But yeah, you want Bite of the Shissar. And there's a Bite of the Shissar that's like a black bottle that drops off mobs. And I really haven't seen much of a difference between those and the ones you buy, aside from that the bottle color is different. The dropped ones are black, and it says for a quest, so there might be a quest involved in it. but you can actually use those just like these, and it'll buff you to where you can proc and do the same damage as the ones that you buy. So if you run out and you loot some, you can use those, or use the looted one first, right? And then keep your stack like whole until you need it. And then there are other types of poison. There are like effect type poisons that you can craft, and those are Messenger's Bane. Messenger's Bane is one of my favorites because this works the same way as the other ones that I've explained, where if you have some, you can right click on it. So here's some Messenger's Bane XIII. I don't even know, am I the right level to use this? Level 75. Here's one, Fighter's Bane. Let's try Fighter's Bane, and I'll show you. It works just like the other ones. And you right click, and it casts like a spell, and then here you go. You have it like a buff. Fighter's Bane lasts for 3 hours and 18 minutes. Now, the lower level ones will probably only last for about an hour. This is a level 81 rogue with some AAs that might be making some of these, you know, last longer than normal. So don't expect your poison to last 3 hours. They might not. But what some of these do, let's get back to my favorite one, is Messenger's Bane. This one's great at lower levels, especially in dungeons. It's a snare. It will snare your target. And that's great because it makes it harder for them to run away from you when they're almost dead. And, you know, they start running, and without snare, you start getting aggro from everything else in lower Guck or wherever you're at. And it just ends up a nightmare, and you have a train, and you die. So with this, it procs pretty regular. At least once during the fight, it's probably going to proc. And if it does, then your mob is snared. He's not going to get away, and you could kill him in peace. So really love Messenger's Bane. Another one of my favorites. And this is the thing. You can only have one of these going at a time. So if you are suddenly wanting to use something like Myrmidon's Sloth, feel free to correct me if I'm saying it wrong. If you want Myrmidon's Sloth with actually slows mobs, like a shaman casting like Walking Sleep or whatever the fuck. I don't know all their spell names. Drowsy or whatever. Yeah, their slow spell. It's like a shitty slow spell. But say if you don't have a shaman, or you don't have an enchanter or anybody that can cast slow, or you're soloing and the thing is hitting hard, you might want to use Myrmidon's Sloth. This red one, Archer's Bane. I believe this one is like a negative to dexterity. Because, you know, archers need dexterity, and it's gonna make them like, I can't shoot arrows no more, you know. I'm not 100% sure what all these do, so don't take my exact words as like a law. I'm telling you what I'm pretty sure some of these are. There's this one, Warlord's Bane. So Warlord's Bane is a slow, it's a 17% slow or something like that, and it decreases the attack, the opponent's attack, by like 6 or something like that. Quellius's Trauma decreases hate by 20. So if you're the rogue and you want to avoid aggro, something's hitting hard, but you got a good tank in your team, you want to use Quellius's Trauma, because it's like a mind wipe, and it reduces hatred towards you, and hopefully you gave some Scorpion's Agony to your tank, and so the tank's getting all the hate. So I hope this video has helped quell some of your questions about rogue poisons and what the different poisons do. I really, really love these new poisons. There are some that are even more powerful. There are poisons like Strike of the Shissar that can be made only by rogues after they've reached like a certain skill level. They do significantly more damage. So if you went out and you were fighting something really nasty, you would save this poison for that particular thing. So I hope this video has answered some of your questions about poisons. You would need, like I said, a mortar and pestle, which you could buy on it from any merchant. Once you get to a skill level like 54, 50, whatever, I think it might just be 50, you can go and do your trophy quest to get your toxicology or poison making trophy. And then you always want to equip your trophy, because as you see here by mine, it gives you a significant bonus, 15% to poison making when it's maxed out. And that really, really does help. And because look, if my skill without it is only at 310, right? So I wear it and it's at 355. So it significantly will boost your skill. It's worth getting. Plus, don't these like summon a bag? Like if you right click it, yeah, you right click it, you summon an artisan satchel, and the artisan satchel is a 100% weight reduction bag. That's 12 slots. It's temporary, of course. Feel free to give a like and subscribe if this helps. Please check out my Patreon, and if you become a Patreon or a patron, thank you. Awesome. And I always post my videos there first. You won't need to watch ads or anything. So if you're a patron, you get to watch all the videos ad-free and all that stuff. So thank you again. Have a great day and a wonderful tomorrow.